What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of RGTP. I am your host, Lewis, and with me, as always, the fabulous, wonderful Sir Mamba
Hey,
and Jigglypuff cameo
yeah,
with the
she
same.
back there somewhere.
No,
Nah,
he
it's
took the
Clippers.
same
It's
Super
Clippers.
Bowl
It's
hat off.
Clippers.
We switched it to the
It's been
Clippers
Clippers for a little
because it's
minute.
Clipper season. NBA just tipped off. So, Mamba, how we doing today? We got a
Uh,
banana shirt on too. While we at it?
oh, yeah. There's always money in the banana stand, man. Remember that. If you've never seen Arrested Development, bro, one of the
I feel
funniest
like I've
shows you
seen
can ever watch
some
on Netflix.
episodes.
Yeah, go watch it,
Funny.
and just always remember. Never burn down your banana stand, man.
Never burn down the banana stand. True. Fair enough. But yeah, Mamba, how we doing today, man? We ready? We
Oh,
excited?
great. Yeah,
NBA season officially week 1 in the books.
I've been consuming so many basketball games, and it's like it's kind of too much because I miss a lot of stuff flipping from game to game. Right? Like we'll probably talk about it, but like the Celtics had a disastrous run.
Yep.
Right? Like the Bulls just came back and dominated them, and I stopped watching that game. It was like 45-43. I went back to the Sixers and Pacers game. And then I click off that and I go back and the Bulls are up like 69-49. I'm like,
Yes, sir.
Why? How?
Yes,
Like, yeah.
You gotta love the
It's
NBA.
great.
It's a game of runs.
Sports in general, though, sports in general right now just seems like it's anyone's game. You got in the MLB, like 109 win team against an 87 win team in their championship, like their World Series. That's insane. You know, football, we're going to jump into that. There's so many teams where there's only one game where
these
both
power
teams,
rankings are what the
there's
fuck?
literally only one game this week where there's two teams with winning records meeting each other. Like either one team's winning, the other team's losing, or they're both losers, or they're tied. You know, like sports are going crazy, and it's a fantastic time.
It is. And then on Friday, we're going to talk Halloween Havoc, previewing a little bit of what's to come for Crown Jewel. So, wrestling going crazy. But nonetheless, it is Wednesday. We're going to jump right into some NFL talks. Usually we leave it for the back half. But not
very
a lot
simple.
Changed. Oh, what is going on? What's going on? Greatest team of all time. Hey, okay, Nips, I see you. We'll talk. We're not talking about the Jazz yet.
We'll
get to them today.
Wait for that fall off.
We'll see, though. We'll see. We're going to get right into the RGTP power rankings because the list has not changed too much throughout the week. There was obviously 3 buys within our top 5, so that didn't change too much, obviously. And,
people
sort of
actually won. That they were winning. They were
Agreed. Yeah, of course. Let's just hop right into it. In at number, should we go backwards at this point?
I think we should start at 1. Yeah.
The Eagles coming off a bye week, still undefeated. They will take on Pittsburgh, and we'll give our preview for that. Even though it was a bye week, they were not quiet. They have officially traded for Robert Quinn to add to the defensive side of the ball. We shall see what's next. But yeah, not much to talk about here. Eagles still the same team with the bye week. Just another week of preparation. The
rich get richer. That's what it is. You just throw in, one of the better pass rushers last year. I think everybody can agree with that. Robert was doing his thing with the Bears.
Yep.
And you're just adding that to Fletcher and CJ and Slay and Bradbury and Reddick and this guy and that guy. And, the Eagles just continue to add, and it doesn't. You don't see the fall off coming.
Not yet. We'll have to see. We saw this with Arizona. 7-0. Arizona was riding hot.
Right. I would say, though, maybe this team a little more legit because you don't. When they lost J.J. Watt last year, that defense, it kind of fell apart.
Yep.
There's so many playmakers on this Eagles team where, yes, it will be a huge blow no matter who they lose. But it seems they have more pieces to make up for what they lose if anything happens to them, right? Their corners, two good corners, up there in the league. Their safeties, insane. linebackers, D-line, it just got better. Their wide receivers, their tight ends, their running backs, their quarter. The O-line's great. Like, the Eagles are dominant looking right now.
Absolutely. I hear what you're saying, Nips. They are looking good. Kind of like I said, the Cardinals last year,
Yeah.
7-0. They were riding hot. Everybody was in love with them, and then a big-ass collapse coming down. So it is sort of going to be down to the stretch run of the season. Teams get healthier, teams get banged up. It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. You know what I mean? So we'll definitely see. Moving on to number 2 still, of course, coming off their bye week, the Bills.
Yeah.
Last win was obviously against Kansas City to help them move into the spot. They have not done anything, so there is not too much to say about the Bills. They will be taking on the Green Bay Packers. We'll talk a little bit more about that game in a little bit. For Sunday Night Football, not much to say here. We move on to a team that did play.
I had one thing to say for the Bills.
Oh, no,
they took one loss, and that was not getting Christian McCaffrey. We can now move on.
Whatever. The team that Christian McCaffrey went on, they got their ass spanked by this team. The Kansas City Chiefs are sitting in at number 3, although it was a little tempting to move them up, but can't really fully punish the Bills for not playing.
For having a bye, right.
But they beat San Francisco 44-23, multiple interceptions, fumbles. They move the ball all over the field, looking like just the Chiefs. I don't know how else to sum it up. They looking, honestly, if they don't look better than what they have, like last year, because the ball is moving around more and just instead of being Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, like Isaiah Pacheco just came up and now he's RB1. You know what I mean? MVS had some good catches this game, finally looking like the deep threat that he was in Green Bay. Juju's having these random little sprinkle games. Right. Yeah. So like this offense looks maybe even better. I don't know if it's crazy to say losing Tyreek Hill, but just the ability to sprinkle the ball a little more looks good. Can't knock the 49ers too bad. They're trying to get healthy. They lost 11 starters last week. They were out 11 starters against Atlanta. They're slowly getting together now. So can't fully blame San Francisco. Obviously lost their quarterback. So how are you feeling on Kansas City, though?
I guess you can say they are better because they look. It's their defense has really improved, so it's allowing their offense to just be like, "Oh, Travis Kelce, 3 touchdowns. Here you go. Oh, Juju finally wants to catch the ball. Here you go.
Bonkers.
He's been there a couple of years, so he knows the offense, and that's why they felt okay with getting rid of Tyreek. Trading Tyreek, getting picks, getting all these wide receivers, so it's not just, oh, we have one wide receiver that's really going to hurt you. We have who are we going to throw to? You have to figure that out. Yeah, we're going to throw to Travis Kelce as our main guy, but who is the next guy? This game it can maybe be Juju. The next game maybe it's Valdez-Scantling. Maybe it's Miko. Maybe Sky Moore has a game finally. Like, they have a bunch of people. They have the depth. When we talk about basketball, we talk about the championship teams having the depth. They have more depth at wide receiver now, it feels. Absolutely. More people that are actually playing and not just Josh Gordon sitting here, Sammy Watkins, playing. They have more reliable depth, I guess you can say now.
Yeah. No, I agree. Moving on, the last team in our top 5 with a bye, the Vikings. Not much to say here. They're obviously lying in wait. They'll be playing Arizona, and we'll talk about that game in a little bit. Like previously
mentioned. Offense insane.
The teams that are on byes, we will talk about.
Defense needs a little work.
Don't worry. We'll talk about them. Moving on to wrap out the top 5, and still at number 5, coming out of a win against the Duval Jacksonville Jaguars. The Giants are still riding hot.
How about it?
The Giants.
You still got the Jaguars over, man?
Yes, I'm not. I haven't jumped off Jaguar bandwagon yet.
I hear it. The Giants punched them in the mouth that opening drive. Like, Jaguars defense literally could not stop them. And then the game settled after that. They were like, okay, let's, Etienne, I believe, scored his first rushing touchdown of the year. There was some good for the Jags in the game, but the Giants just continue to be solid. Daniel Jones.
Let me know if you were right because you thought they were going to be good, or wrong because you thought they were going to be bad, I should say.
Right.
Let me know. Mamba's on the down, I'm on the up.
I wanted all the faith in the Jags. But the Giants have been the team where it's like I have no faith in them, but they just continue to win because there's no true ego on that offense, right?
Yeah.
Like you don't. I mean, you got Galladay, but he's not really there, right? So you got Daniel Jones, who's still trying to prove himself because he has to, or he's gone, right? You got Saquon coming back from a so-so year. Like, he was off and on because he was coming back from his injury. Saquon has looked like the most consistent best running back this year. Is that, I don't, that's not wild to say. They have no wide receivers, but Daniel Jones isn't throwing the ball away. He's getting it to where he needs to. And they've just been consistent offense, defense, and that's why they continue to win. But you're still just waiting because it's like, can it continue? Maybe. Yep. Daboll has them playing very well. And I said, when I gave them the under, did he give the play calling to Kafka just in case, Completely wrong. That offense is humming, and they only have like one true playmaker on the offense right now, it feels like.
It is like, I don't know how to sum it up. It's just a football team.
Right. You want to make a comparison, but you can't really think of a team to compare it to.
Not at the moment, no.
Right.
Maybe it's kind of like
last year, but like the Bengals have more, and they went that far. I don't want to say Giants going to the Super Bowl, obviously, but from expectations to where they're now, could it be the Bengals of last year?
Maybe.
Right. Okay.
Super overachieving. Maybe. We'll see. It's kind of like Nip said, they're not even a great team on paper. They're just going out there and winning football games. Right. However it needs to be done.
Comebacks.
Whether it's on the ground. Yeah, I think they have
winning.
3 or 4 comeback wins.
From 10. They were 3-1. Yeah.
Yeah, they're out here. They're winning games. They can play ahead. Behind the defense has been carrying, even though a lot of people thought the defense was going to regress. They lost Bradbury, and I know they lost another piece on that defense. But getting an offensive-minded head coach is like, okay, we're obviously going to be transitioning. It's probably going to be a down year, rebuild, whatever. But hey, Danny Dimes balling out, man. Danny Dimes balling out. They got a game. I know I wrote it down here. They got the game against Seattle, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Which will definitely be an interesting game. As we move on, the Cowboys absolutely steamrolled the poor Detroit Lions 24-6. They remain as our number 16. Dak is back. Dak looks okay so far. We'll have to see. I believe they have a bye coming up, if I remember correctly. No, they don't have a bye. They play nobody good enough that I didn't write it down. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I can't think of who Dallas plays this week.
They aren't good enough for me to write it down.
Let's see. My guess is it's not the Giants.
No. But yeah, anyways, Cowboys, how are they looking?
The Bears. I think they're playing the Bears for some reason.
The Bears, literally.
Yeah, Nibs, look at that. Yes.
The Bears. Bears.
The Bears coming off that win against New England.
I don't know what.
It's at Dallas. I did see Zeke is potentially out.
I don't think he's playing.
But even with losing Zeke, this offense should just keep rolling. Tony Pollard's going to slot in whoever the backup, fill Zeke's role. Maybe bigger shoes, but Cowboys, they just defense, getting Dak back. If they lost to the Lions, it would have been you sure about that loss right there, Dallas? But they won. Right, they won, and there was no doubt that they were going to lose, So they just rolling. Unfortunately.
The Lions ain't bad. They just ain't dealing with health. They're dealing with health right now. They keep losing key players on offense when you're losing your wide receiver one, losing a star running back. You're bound to have troubles moving the ball. But yeah, Cowboys, they'll be playing the Bears. We'll see how the Bears are feeling after beating up on my fucking Patriots, sucking ass. We don't got to talk about that right now. But yeah, Cowboys leading the way defensively. Hopefully Dak can come back and get this offense clicking. I know they weren't I think they didn't score more than 23 points when they had Cooper Rush at quarterback or something like that.
There are some teams that would love to score 23 points. Limited. Ask Denver, bro. Ask Denver. Yeah.
Tragic. As we move on, jumping up From number 9 into number 7, the Cincinnati Bengals are back on their winning ways. As previously mentioned last week, Nips.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
mentioned last week, this team has only lost 3 games all season long by a combined 8 points.
Yeah.
They're very, very, very close to looking at an undefeated season. Joe Burrow and company, it does not matter who walks into town. They're going to throw a party on you for the most part. Doesn't matter. It's going to go to Boyd, Higgins, Chase has had some down games, but it doesn't matter because he's going to find one of his other wide receivers. We've talked about Hayden Hurts.
I think that's the best part. Higgins really hasn't had a down game. He just hasn't gotten a touchdown, right? Like, he's the only game where it was like, you sure, was the Saints game. And he was already like, and I don't think he played the game after that due to his injury because I remember starting him and he had 0 points, I think. Yeah. But he gets about 7 targets every game. And he gets about 90 yards almost every game that he's actually healthy and playing. And so the Bengals offense is just it's looking like it's finally about to take that step. You know, Jamar Chase just had an insane game.
Yes.
Boyd continues to get a touchdown, which I have a trade sitting there. It's Garrett Wilson for Curtis Samuel and Tyler Boyd.
Waiting, you're lurking.
I keep it there. Only reason I don't take it is because it's like Curtis Samuel. Yeah, sure. But Wilson, with Breece Hall going down, maybe Wilson is able to get more touches going. Elijah Moore wants out, but that's not the team we're talking about, the Bengals.
The Bengals, of course. Yeah, no, Nips, I hear you down there in the comments. The underrated defense, definitely been one of the better defenses so far this year. Like previously mentioned, could easily be undefeated right now. The offensive line seems to be clicking a little bit better now after some shaky starts. At Joe Burrow and company are back on their winning ways. Because a few weeks ago, I was sitting on this show and I was concerned. I was like, "Yo, we about to have the second coming at
I was asking for the coach's head, bro.
Like, are we about to watch this poor kid, this talented young quarterback, get mauled because they can't protect him?" But it looks like they're doing a little bit better of a job. It's meshing a little bit better enough. They can keep him upright. This team is going to be a problem this season for the rest of the season. And many
gotta get Mixon going now, though. Gotta get Mixon going. It can't always be the passing game. You gotta be able to show we're gonna run. You have to watch out for Mixon because P-Ron's not a bad runner either.
No,
like they have solid running backs. If you just saying we're passing, and then you can take Mixon out easily, people are gonna start, covering downfield more, just playing, they're not going to fall for a play action if, you got to get Mixon going in the game too.
Yeah. Now, I see you down there, Nips. I agree. Logan Wilson's having a tough season. Trey Hendrickson, obviously, is a big piece of that. They have you guys, because I can tell you guys are a Bengals fan. You guys have playmakers on literally all aspects of secondary, the offense, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, solid, slowly becoming more of a solid offense. So there's pieces and playmakers intact throughout the roster. It's just getting back, getting off whatever Super Bowl hangover, AFC Championship hangover, whatever. Now they're clicking, so shout out to them.
They had to be humbled. That's what it was.
Kind of, a little early on. Moving on in at number 8.
Yeah.
The Jets. They take a little bit of a step back from 7 to 8 this week. Not really their fault. They didn't play a great game. Won 16-9 against Denver, who has been an ugly team in their own right. We don't talk much about Denver, sadly, because they're just not that great.
Threw up thinking about their
Denver
offense, bro.
Just not been. What I remember preseason, I was telling you about quarterbacks on the hot seat. Who's someone I said?
Yeah, at this point, nobody wants him, bro.
What did I tell you? I told you, that motherfucker Russell Wilson better be careful because everybody was. Anyways,
yeah.
The Jets are here.
It's simply the Breece Hall injury, right?
17-0. That's how he was feeling until they got
humbled.
Breece Hall goes down. Elijah Moore wants out. Zach Wilson's back. Garrett Wilson. They got some pieces on this team. Yep. They're still here. They got to win.
Defense is solid. They lost Elijah Vera Tucker too, though. So that's a big part of their line. Yep.
That'll hurt the offensive line. Agreed. But they're here. They will be taking on. They'll be hosting my Pats this Sunday at 1:00. So we'll see how that game goes. But the Jets so far proving some haters wrong right now.
the reason they didn't fall as like further because it feels them losing Brees. You watch anybody, they're like, that was their identity on offense. Like anybody says it when they talk about the Jets losing Brees. Like it was him and then everyone else. He made the big play to get the offense going, and then everybody just rallied behind his, momentum shifter. But I do like them trading for James Robinson. I think James Robinson's about to slot in and be maybe not as great as Brees was for them, but do not sleep on James Robinson. And I think a good amount of Jags fans would say maybe we shouldn't have traded James Robinson. Maybe we should have kept him.
It's
But
ETN season, boy.
exactly, and Hasty has proved that he can run a little bit. So the Jets getting James Robinson, I think they'll be all right. I do. I think they will be all right.
Yeah, it should ease the blow a little bit. They still have Michael Carter from last year's draft, so they should be all right.
Ty Jerome,
Yeah. They have some pieces. This offense doesn't have any major studs or stars. It's a pretty solid offense.
Can we get Garrett Wilson in the Debo role, please? That's what I'm asking for. That's what I'm
for fantasy purposes.
Yes.
But hey, you never know because the way the NFL is moving right now, it's you want to put the ball in your playmaker's hands, whichever way it is, however, whether it's a reverse screen pass, whatever, just make them, we have running backs going out wide now just in order to be able to get them involved in the offense more. So you never know. That is going to be a big question for them going forward and moving up the list, obviously, and staying on the list. And, of course, continue their winning ways because if the run game is lacking and it's up to Zach Wilson to throw the ball, as Nips mentioned, as you see in the comment, 50% of his throws are off target. So that is not going to win you games if the running game isn't clicking.
If it's a Cougar running downfield, he'll throw it to her.
Shut up. A bunch of Cougars chasing them. Yeah, but the Jets, if it turns into a passing game, I have to be a little worried because Hall was breaking off some
have to put Flacco in
runs. Probably not.
Mike White?
No. Moving on to number 9. As we continue going on, we have a new team cracking the top 10. In at number 9 is the streaking, red hot, former number 1 seed Tennessee Titans have now won 4 games in a row. They are moving along and looking more so of the team that we expected, more or less, or more so the team that we saw last season. Derrick Henry has been clicking since I believe it like weeks 2 or 3.
Yeah, their first 2 games, not it.
Yeah, he's been back on his bullshit, so that's good. That's good for them. Whoa, really now? Big Nips actually played against Zach Wilson in high school. Very interesting. He's a freak on and off the field. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, I think the headlines told us that.
That is hilarious. But yes, the Titans, they beat the Colts 19-10. Matt Ryan's season as the Indianapolis Colts quarterback has come to an end after this game. But Ryan Tannehill spotted in a walking boot. Malik Willis season? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But Tennessee looking a little bit like their former selves. Defense and running the ball. Smash mouth football. Mike Vrabel back to Mike Vrabel football and got the Tennessee Titans back on their bullshit.
4-game win streak. How do you deny a team that's on a 4-game win streak, right? After losing their best defensive player, Derrick Henry isn't looking all like Derrick Henry, right? And then Ryan Tannehill is that game against Buffalo. That was just that was a terrible game. But it's Buffalo, so what do you expect, right? They're winning. Kind of expected the wins from them because they're solid coaching team. They're gonna play hard, but don't really expect too much out of them, right? Like I think at this point we know if you can somewhat slow down Derrick Henry, you're probably going to beat the Titans.
Right.
Robert Woods isn't enough on the outside to scare defenses, I don't think. They lost Treylon Burks, I believe. The tight end, is a bunch of people they've never since who was it? Delaney Walker, I think. They haven't had I think Jonnu was there for a year before y'all signed him.
Yes.
Like they've had a revolving door. Like with the Saints, we never since Jimmy Graham we haven't had a tight end, and it's like you look at all these teams that are good, and it feels like they have a good tight end who can do just about anything, right?
Yep.
So you get a tight end like Delaney who caught the ball, run block. They would just open up their offense so much if they could find a true tight end for them.
Big Nip said they do. They do.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because they lost to the Bills and they lost to
Did
who
they
was
lose
their
the
first
Raiders
game?
game? No, did they beat the Raiders? I can't
They
remember
no,
if they lost
they
the
came back
Raiders
to
game.
beat the Raiders. No, I don't think
They
they
lost
even
their
had to
first
come.
2 games of the
Yeah,
season.
I forget who
I
their
can't
first
remember.
game was against.
I remember
but
looking at
like they're just a solid team. They don't strike fear into anybody's hearts. They, like maybe don't sleep on them because they have Derrick Henry and they do play hard, but a team like the Chiefs, a team like the Bills, Bengals, maybe even a team that's under them aren't even like, we know what y'all want to do.
Right.
Can you stop us though? Right? I don't. It's tough. This year is definitely tough. Like picking who,
Oh yeah, they lost to the
why.
Giants. I
Oh
forgot. I
yeah, it
forgot
was
they
by
lost.
like a field goal, right? 6
I
points, something
forgot
like.
that game
Yeah,
against the Giants.
yeah, yep. I forgot. Yeah, Titans though, solid team. What else can
Titans.
be said?
And to wrap up the RGTP power rankings, in at number 10, another team cracking the list for the very first time. The very shocking, very surprising
Yes.
Geno Smith led Seattle Seahawks coming off a
Yeah.
37-23 win against the Chargers, who were bumped off of our list. The Chargers are having a very shaky season. If I'm not mistaken, they just lost JC Jackson for the whole season.
Yes.
So has not looking good for JC Jackson's first year in Los Angeles. But Seattle is here. And surprisingly, have no problem pushing the ball up and down the field, putting up a lot of points this season. Kind of a shocker, but Geno Smith leading the way. You can't help but, I guess, feel kind of good about it in a weird way. Watching Russ sort of, fall apart, and is it weird? Like, it's kind of, some people feel good about it. Some people are.
It definitely it puts more pressure on Russell Wilson, right? Like they were dog water. I mean, bad. Everyone was like, "Oh, the defense is atrocious, so of course they're not." Oh, the O line is atrocious, so of course they're not gonna. Now it's looking like, yeah, maybe they just needed a quarterback who can get the ball to their wide receivers a little bit more often than not. Right. That's what it looks like. And not every game has been perfect for the Seahawks. Of course not. Their defense is still bad. Like their offensive line, it's not the worst. It's definitely better than what it was. Right? Like I think everyone can agree on that. But the team is it's so fun to watch. They're either going to score 37 points in a loss, right?
They're crazy.
Or they might even drop 48 and give up 45, or they win 19-10 and they have like 7 field goals, and it's like, what is happening with this team? Pete Carroll has proven he maybe got a little too much flag than what he deserves. Like the team, it looks competent.
Yeah.
They're leading their division now. There are probably some believers in the Seahawks to win their division, right? But it's mainly like, 49ers are going to jump them. Rams will probably jump them. I don't think I've seen, the Cardinals are going to jump them because the Cardinals have just,
Figuring it out.
Yeah,
Figuring it out a little bit.
But the Seahawks, man,
Shock.
unexpected and fun. They lost Rashad, but Kenneth Walker's like, this is why you draft me. This is why I was in the Heisman finalists, right? Like, this is what people thought I was going to do, and I'm going to just hopefully continue doing it. Yeah, just get the ball to Tyler Lockett a little bit more, and we cool, Gino. Maybe. We cool.
We'll see. With DKB missing some time, we'll have to see. I don't know how much time he's going to miss. I know he left with an injury, so we'll see. But it's surprisingly.
Yeah. And they play the Giants.
Like rallying. Yes, they do. We're going to talk about that game in just a little bit because we are going to move on to break down some of the games of the week. We'll start with Thursday. Baltimore Ravens go to Tampa Bay to visit Tom Brady and the gang. Win or lose, who you got, Mamba?
Ravens. Yes,
Ravens.
it continues. The Buccaneers just continue to, when Mike Evans bobbled that wide
We
open
don't even
puck,
want to talk about it.
we do need to talk about it because what
The
the
game
hell
was
was
over
that?
right there. The game ended
Dude
right there.
is consistent. Like that is what he is as a wide receiver. And the fact that this ball hits him in the hands and he I wanted to. Oh my god, that pissed me off.
I'll hear it. Nips is going
Simply,
with the Bucks because he doesn't think
yeah.
Brady will continue to be this bad.
I did see though Lamar and Brady. They're like two of the worst down the field passers right now. Like their yards per completion isn't the best. Like their numbers this year, not all that. So maybe this is strictly a ground game, but
Maybe.
if you have Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, you have to feed them the ball. And, like that's just what you have to do. And the
We'll have
Ravens
to.
don't like to guard wide receivers at times.
They
So
they have a problem. They have a secondary
yeah,
issue. After a while, they can't seem to guard people. I'm gonna lean Baltimore also. Just because if I'm not mistaken, I did see Tampa Bay is going to be losing a ton of offensive players. I think they're losing a few wide receivers. Julio Jones is also a game time decision.
Mike is questionable, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. They might be losing some wide receivers, so I don't think they're going to be
Ridiculous.
able to just pull that off. Moving on, Arizona, as previously mentioned, looking a little bit better now. They go and visit up north, Minnesota, coming off their bye week. Who wins and why?
They played last week, right? Or last year, my bad. And
Yeah.
that was a game where it
Yeah.
was like the Vikings probably should have won that.
That game was early in the season. I can't remember if Minnesota missed the field goal to lose,
Yeah, it
or
was.
if it was a walk-off field goal from Arizona. I think this might have
Right.
been the game that the Minnesota kicker
I
had
think
missed.
they
Though.
missed. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think he
it was
missed.
a miss.
Simply for the revenge. And the offense seems a little bit better. It's great seeing Hopkins back. Of course, he's going to get fed as Hopkins. Come on, bro. But Justin Jefferson, Thielen,
Okay.
I'm a lean the Vikings.
Vikings, Minnesota. I'm going surprisingly with the Cardinals.
Not surprising.
I think the Cardinals are on their winning ways a little bit now, and I think this is going to be one of their first wins where people are going to be like, "Hey, Arizona looking like Arizona," stirring up a little bit of conversation. We got Big Nips. He's going with Minnesota. Cardinals don't got enough defense for those wide receivers, and Kyler Murray is the most overrated player in the league. Tough. As we move on, the Las Vegas Raiders going down to the Bayou to take on your Saints. Tell me why the Saints are going to win this game, because you ain't picking against your guys.
Why are the Saints going to win? Because we probably put some voodoo hex on the Raiders so they can't win, to be honest.
I know it's been a tough season.
Yeah, I saw Andy Dalton starting, but like his back might flare up. And if his back flares up, that means Jameis is our starter, but Jameis is our number 3 quarterback because Taysom's our backup quarterback. But it's for sure if Andy Dalton goes down, Jameis is the shit. I hope the Saints
picking
win. Against
you.
I honestly, it's going to be tough because the Raiders are coming in. Matt Collins has impressed. You know, he's stepped into a role because Hunter Renfrow doesn't look like he did last year.
I don't know what the hell happened.
Devontae Adams, even though he has the
legal,
he's still Devontae Adams. Josh Jacobs has been great for them.
Yes.
And going into this year, it was like, oh, Josh Jacobs, odd man out as a running back for the Raiders. And now it's like, y'all not going to re-sign this man. Y'all better re-sign this man. The Saints just love giving up the big play, bro. A big play is going to happen.
Are you hopping on the Raiders?
Nah, the Saints are going to win, obviously, because the defense is better. If we win, it's simply because the defense stepped up and made sure to contain. But even they're missing Marshawn and Paulson, and it's just a lot against the Saints. But hopefully the Raiders just suck that much more.
I hear it. I'm going with the Raiders. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel it, bro.
I love you, bro, but I got to go with the Raiders. Hey, Josh Jacobs is starting to feel it.
I barely said anything good about my Saints right there.
I hear you guys just have a lot of injuries. If Andy Dalton's going to be the guy throwing the ball, Guys are gonna be in trouble.
Hey, Andy Dalton will go down and live forever with that shot of the dude diving into the touchdown. That is like the greatest clip I've ever seen.
Sucks to suck. It's all right though. Yeah. Moving onward,
yes,
my Patriots go into
New York Jets.
New York to take on the Jets. Yes. I'm gonna go with the Pats. Although we just fucking lost to the Bears, and the Jets are probably better than the Bears, I'm gonna count on a bounce back week. I don't think Zach Wilson is gonna hurt us as much as Justin was able to, because whenever Justin just didn't decide to throw it, he was just gonna break out the fucking pocket and pick up a ton of yards. We struggled guarding the run. But the Jets losing their star running back or lead running back, trying to get Robinson in the mix. We'll see how it goes. Michael Carter.
He'll probably get a couple touches.
I'm hoping we take the run game away and we make have Zach throwing all those bad passes that we were talking about earlier. So I got to lean with my boys in New England.
Okay, so my question for you was going to be, but I just kind of talked myself into doing it anyways because fuck it, why not, right? He said, won't do good against the defense, and Hall isn't there to carry me. And I mean, that is true. I'm taking the Patriots because Mac Jones is pissed off. This man is pissed. You're going to tell me you drafted this man with the 10th pick. And yeah, he's 15. had some what?
15.
My bad. It's up there still. First round pick. He's still a first round pick. All right. He has struggled with the interceptions. Like, I think he had 3 in his second game or whatever. But he has like 6 in all the games that he's played. Yeah. But that interception, it doesn't look like it was really his fault because he just threw it in the cord.
Right. On some bullshit.
So it seems like an overreaction. Like, I do understand the man threw an interception, so it's like, all right, let's get Zappy. He's been hot, you know.
Through 2.
Exactly. The man who his first 2 drives, touchdown. Second half, dog water. He went from like a 158.3 perfect passer rating to like a 29.8.
You know why?
Fell apart.
Bailey Zappi don't give a fuck, and he'll sling it the fuck downfield.
I mean, he did.
That is exactly how we scored 2 touchdowns. Yep. After that, the Bears said, you're not going to take the deep shot. And what happened? Exactly. 2 picks, a fumble, and a ton of batted balls down at the defensive line because Zappi couldn't get it over the defensive line when he was trying to throw bullets. He is a deep ball quarterback through and through. And I'm all for it because, you take the big risk. But when they take that shit away, Bailey Zappi just sadly isn't that good.
And that's why I'm picking up Mac Jones as my quarterback this week in fantasy football.
Not bad
at all. I hope he's pissed, bro.
Bad at all.
Did you see? Hold on, now. Did you see Belichick's his post interview? I know that man doesn't give answers, right? There is a better way to answer those questions than.
No, he hates people.
Yeah, no. I didn't see that way. It wasn't that. But it's like, yeah. It didn't look too good, is all I'm saying.
Belichick don't care. Belichick truly does not care.
Next game.
The Pittsburgh Steelers head on down to Philadelphia to take on the undefeated Eagles. I think we're both leaning Eagles on this one, even though the Pittsburgh Steelers are, they're trying, beat Tampa Bay. They've beat the Bengals this year. They have kind of these weird wins and weird losses. They're still figuring it out.
Eagles are too much.
They're still trying to figure out everything. I think this team will be something to look at in like a year. We'll probably be looking at them more so as a bigger threat, I guess, so to speak. It's just Pittsburgh is just not. Mike Tomlin's streak of
it's coming to an end.
It's coming to an end. I feel like it's coming to an end.
Oh, it's definitely coming to an end, bro. Their offense is just it doesn't move. The ball does not move downfield. And like when it does, it's
poor Najee Harris.
Dude,
he feels like such a non-factor.
It feels like Trent Richardson all over again. Like that's what it feels like. He doesn't he gets 70 yards because he has 25 carries. Like, if he doesn't have the bulk carry, he's not
It's like
getting
he's not doing
anything.
anything.
Because he's not. He's really not. Last I saw, a dude was averaging like 2.7 yards a carry. Maybe even lower than that. And maybe it's went up, but he's probably been the biggest disappointment of the year for me, for at least the running back position. Like, he was definitely a rookie who showed promise, right? And I'm not saying like, oh, it's already over. No, but what we're seeing this year, it does not look good.
It does not look good. Hey, I hear it. I agree. It does not. Hopefully Pittsburgh can get their shit together. Hopefully they can get their shit together. As we move on, the San Francisco 49ers will play an in-division rival as they take on the Los Angeles Rams, where also the Rams are coming off a bye week themselves. Hopefully to regroup. San Francisco still trying to get healthy. Mamba, who wins this game and why is it going to be the Rams?
Is it going to be the Rams?
Oh, is it?
I don't think it is.
Ooh.
I mean, the Rams, obviously, they're no slouch, right?
Super hangover.
But they never play the Niners well at all. They don't. And the last time they played them, I'm pretty sure Stafford had like 3 interceptions and a fumble. Like, he had a lot of turnovers is what I'm getting at. And he threw a pick 6 in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And then I'm pretty sure he threw another interception or an interception before. Oh, he threw an interception before the pick 6 or after the pick 6. So I'm going to pick the 49ers.
I just swiped myself off screen.
I see that. I'm going to take the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey has another week to learn the system. He looked impressive with what he was given.
Yep.
You still have Debo. Garoppolo has not looked like any, he's been okay. He's had his moments, but more bad moments than what you would like. I just don't like the matchup for the Rams against the Niners.
Neither does Big Nips. He thinks the 49ers front 7 is going to destroy that Rams offensive line yet again. I will not be surprised if the 49ers win. I just think the Rams coming off a bye with some more prep time and knowing what hearing the chirping, they'll be able to bounce back. Moving on.
You would hope so.
We got a matchup. Who would have thought this was going to be one of the key highlight games of the week? The Giants head across country to the West Coast to take on the Seattle Seahawks in a very interesting game of overachieving teams. I'm picking the Giants on this one to get the dub here. I think the defense will be able to slow down Geno just enough. I don't think Seattle's going to have that crazy offensive game because it seems their offensive games go, kind of skewed. It's kind of like a roller coaster. It's hit or miss. They have highs and lows, and I think this week is going to be a low. I think Saquon and company move the ball up and down the field on the ground on this one.
Yeah, this game probably won't be high scoring.
Probably.
And if it is, I hope all the touchdowns are to Tyler Lockett, please. But I'm going to go Seahawks. And I'm going to give you a score, probably be like 27-24. It'll be a close game. And it'll probably come down to like the final drive type shit.
I respect it. True. Sunday Night Football. Green Bay Packers head on to Buffalo to take on the Bills coming off a bye week. Green Bay coming off another loss.
And they getting another loss because this is the Buffalo Bills, bro.
Nips takes the Seattle Seahawks on our last matchup. Buffalo to beat Green Bay. I think we're in agreement on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, it just sucks. It just R.I.P. Aaron Rodgers.
When do they make a trade for a wide receiver? It's like not even – you don't even talk about the game.
They should have already been on the phone with OBJ. They should have already been on the phone. They should have been on the phone for Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore.
Elijah Moore. I know you were talking about he's a second year, so how much can you really get out of him? But like something is better than nothing.
They don't like his young receivers, so I don't know. At this point – and we both had them going to the Super Bowl. Like, we had them Super Bowl bound last year, and now they're just – I don't know what the fuck happened.
They're linked to A.J. Green. That's a good wide receiver to go get, but, like –
yeah, let's just keep
how much is A.J. going to get?
Watered down wide receivers. A.J. Brown and Sammy AJ Green and Sammy Watkins and fucking
they could have probably had
Randall
AJ
Cobb and all these other fucking run-of-the-mill wide receivers that don't matter. Buffalo steamrolls. Moving on. Monday Night Football. The Bengals go on to Cleveland. The battle for the state. Monday Night Football. Bengals coming off a 35-17 win. Move the ball all up and down the field. Cleveland coming off a 23-20 loss to another division opponent in the Ravens. So this division is just beating up on each other currently. I agree. I am going Cincinnati on this one. We have more reports. Yes. He absolutely is. He said we should be cutting people. These people shouldn't be playing if they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Right now, fuck Aaron Rodgers. No offense. Literally, last season, we had him going to the Super Bowl last year, and we gave him MVP. Like, we were singing his praises.
I think we gave him another MVP this year. I know on the Pat McAfee, I'm pretty sure on the Pat McAfee show they picked Aaron Rodgers to get another MVP too.
Probably. Like we were rocking with Aaron last season, and now he's coming into this year. We were a little sour on him about not him and the shit that happened with him and Devontae and not being on the same page, whatever. Losing Devontae, going into business for himself right now. Fuck Aaron Rodgers, but yeah, an agreement. Cincinnati beats Cleveland. They continue to steamroll, and they might just be making some leaps and bounds on this list, depending on some of the drops that we.
They finally rolling.
That's Cincinnati's finally rolling. As we move on from one sport to the next, we're going to transfer on over to the NBA. We're going to hit a quick round of the opening week. We have 10 teams on the list to talk about. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. It's only been
can we get that team out of the way?
Yes, of course.
Let's just start with that.
Give me 1 second, man. Don't worry.
They're
such a
dumpster fire, bro.
We know it. Trust me. But NBA season just started. Some teams have played 2, some played 3, some have played 4. So
some have played 2.
There's not a whole lot. Not a whole lot going on. Scared of the Browns. Interesting. Okay, Bengals lose games like that. Okay, I hear that. And go Utah. Utah will probably talk about next week. We will not be talking about the Jazz this week.
They
not part of the 10 teams. They winning now. But hopefully they have some good things to talk about. Like I said, it's relatively new. Not a lot's going on, so we'll kind of breeze around the league just a little bit. Hopefully next week we have some more stories to talk about. But let's get this out the way because Mamba does not give a damn about this team. The 0-3 Los Angeles Lakers looking bad when you take out LeBron and Anthony Davis putting in all the work that they're trying. LeBron
get more ass.
Double, and also 7 assists, closing out on a triple-double. Anthony Davis has shown flashes of a stud Anthony Davis, the all-NBA Anthony Davis, a potential MVP Anthony Davis. He's playing. But then there's everybody else.
He's also shooting like shit, though, too. Shooting like shit. This whole team shooting like shit.
Of course. But Lonnie Walker averaging 15 points per game. Russ is averaging like 12 or something, 13, maybe 14, 15.
On like 20% shooting, like 6% from the 3, I think. Like
wild. The Lakers are wild.
At this point, they said they were going to have him come off the bench.
Yep.
He isn't coming off the bench. You need to put him on the
bench. He got injured, and it was because he came off the bench.
Yeah, but I know, but like, just because I was saying, like, no, that is a possibility because, you got to get used to it and everything. Your body got to adjust. You have to continuously do it to adjust. You can't just one game, doesn't work, give it up. It don't work like that. He's a liability. Any team that trades for him is trading for him to get a pick or 2 from the Lakers. And they're going to tell him to stay home. We don't care.
Maybe.
If you get,
maybe.
There is legit no team that will benefit from having Russell Westbrook on their roster playing with and you cannot tell me, maybe this Indy? No. You're not taking the ball out of Tyrese's hand. Benedict is
I'm saying Presti, I'll give you 2 second rounders. I've been saying this shit. That's it.
You are not trading for Russell to play on your team. It's just not. You're trading for him to
You're
get his
looking at, what
contract,
is it,
and then
27
just
and
gone.
29, or is it 25 and 27? I think it's 27 and 29.
26, I think.
Whatever it is, they're looking at
Yeah,
for those picks.
26, 29, I think.
Poor
But
Russ. Poor Russ.
it's just
He's been the
it's not
scapegoat.
working. Yeah, he has, and it's sad because he has that shot, and it's like, dude, don't take it, but he takes it, and
He should have just won that game.
yeah, they
Shout
honestly
out to the
probably
Blazers.
should not be 0-3. Who they are balling, and they are a team we will be talking about, but just make a decision because this isn't working. You saw last year it wasn't working.
Yep.
You either need to try him off the bench or just you can stay home, dude. Like we're losing with you, and we'll probably lose without you. But at least we know why, and we don't. You're not a scapegoat anymore, right?
True. Exactly.
Like,
poor guy.
I feel so bad for him too. This man goes from 2 years of triple doubles, MVP, workhorse, baller to the Wizards. He wasn't even like he was good. He had a month where
Another
he was
triple-double.
averaging exactly like he was going, and then he gets here, and it's like, no,
In the
I don't
spotlight
want to.
now. In the spotlight.
I don't want to see him out of the league. I want him to embrace a new role because Russell Westbrook is a player that should not be going out like this. Russell Westbrook should be remembered for his triple doubles, for like the effort he gave on the court. But this stint with the Lakers is slowly, not even slowly anymore, ruining that man's reputation. And it sucks to see.
It does. It does.
Make a decision.
Big Nip says he's sick of the media glucking LeBron.
Yeah.
I hear it. This is sort of the price that he's had to pay. This is the price he's had to pay. LeBron's slowly suffering now in Los Angeles.
Such a bad
inability. Trade. It is, and it really does come to fit, and it does suck that Russell Westbrook is a scapegoat. But it is what it is.
It happens.
From Los Angeles to his old team, the Washington Wizards, yet again.
Right.
An early start to the season. They're looking good. The 3-1. Kyle Kuzma is this team's leading scorer.
Balling. 21, bro.
Kristaps averaging, I think, like 17 and 8. You got Bradley Beal sprinkling 20, in the 20 point, here and there. They've drafted a lot of young, forward and wing players.
Johnny Davis even playing?
Who?
The person they drafted this year. I don't think he's even played a minute, to be honest.
Who they even draft this year?
Johnny Davis, guard out of Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, with like the 9th pick or 10th pick. Yeah, I forgot about that. The Taco Bell kid. It sucks that I had to think of him as a Taco Bell kid.
Yeah.
He's literally is the Taco Bell commercial kid.
Rui. Rui, he was my favorite when he came out in, 2019?
Yeah.
2020, something like that.
You were as a Rui fan.
He hasn't gotten a steal this year, so let's get some steals, Rui. Boost your numbers. But this team, just like last year in the beginning, they are rolling.
That's why I made sure to mention that.
They're rolling. They look good. And this is a team where they're probably not, halfway before trade deadline. They're maybe 10th seed, 11th seed. Maybe this is a team where they're like, let's just trade some of our pieces that we have and try to get Victor. Like,
you got 3 pretty decent-looking pieces. Kristaps, Beal, Kuzma's playing, much better now. He's out of the spotlight. He's not being, he's not getting as much love as Ingram has been. But go look at Kyle Kuzma's numbers the last 2 seasons since being in Washington. He is playing so much better, and he looks like the Kyle Kuzma from his rookie year where everyone was going crazy over him.
Right. And the lottery is pretty generous. So like your team can be okay, but still suck. Like the Pacers. I know we're not talking, but like the Pacers, the Wizards, a team that maybe could fall off the Heat, like there are some teams that could be at the bottom of the league, not like all the way at the bottom, but like they have the 8th pick, like how the Lakers had that 8th pick and it jumped to 1, I believe, right? And they got Zion. The Pelicans obviously got Zion. Maybe a team like the Wizards, they're not all the way there, but they get lucky in the lottery and they get the Victor. They get a Scoot to play next to, like they have an okay team. They just don't have that piece that's going to take them to their next step that they need to
Agreed.
be. And they don't have someone on the team where it's like maybe he potentially he can make that leap to have the team make the leap. When you look at him, you don't really you're not expecting that out of Kuzma. Rui, you're probably not expecting it
This
out
is
of
going to be a
Rui.
team effort.
Yeah, Denny Abdia, we've seen what Beal does. We see what Kristaps does. Like, this team is solid throughout, but you're probably not too worried about them down along, Hall. So, shout out the Wizards. Y'all are balling for the time
They're
being.
balling for the time being. Agreed. Gotta love it. They are trying. They're getting. We'll see. We'll see. They might
Will
be a
Barton,
team.
Monte Morris,
Hey, they might be like the
yeah,
Knicks a few years ago. The Knicks were a 4 seed. They were playing really good. Had home. They lost in the first round,
right.
but they made the playoffs. They were a top 4 seed. This might be more so of a regular season team with the depth and all the pieces they have. Let's move back on over to the Western Conference, a team that we have talked about quite a bit. The 2-2 Minnesota Timberwolves trying to figure things out with their newfound lineup. Adding Rudy Gobert, although Rudy Gobert has not, changed the scenery, didn't do much difference for him. Still 15 rebounds a game, still blocking, like 3+ shots a game. But the most interesting thing that's come out of this out of the first week is Karl Anthony Towns saying he's not overly in love when he hears about Ant Edwards out here eating Popeyes and staying up late and, not, doing whatever he feels like. Cat is now becoming the veteran.
And right. Like, isn't that so weird?
Jimmy Butler was up there talking shit like these kids suck. You know what I mean? And now it's like, hey, I hear what you was spitting a couple years ago. I'm on that wave now. So, I don't think it's gonna be an issue. I think they're both, they can figure it out. I'd be like, I know what I said, not bad, whatever. However it goes down locker room, I don't think it's gonna be that's gonna cause an issue. It's more so of a fit where how Cat's gonna play, the ball movement. D'Lo kind of finding his mix as he was kind of the odd man out for a little while. And, he was even coming off the bench. Like, it was getting a little weird. So it's more so going to be a fit issue. I don't think any of the any comment like that is going to be an issue. But how we feel in Minnesota sitting at 2-2 so far?
This was a team I was excited for. And they're just 2-2, right? Like, the defense, it's going to come around. The scoring, Ant's averaging like 20.
Yep.
Cat's averaging like 23. Everybody is getting their moments. It's just they've lost to teams where it's like, should you have lost to them? The Spurs, the Jazz,
crazy.
Like there are teams
that you was talking about.
And what's funny, Big Nips, is in the first game, man took more shots in that one game than he was ever given in the Jazz last season. Like, I think the most shots he took for the Jazz was like 14. In his first game with the Timberwolves, he took 15. And he shoots 68%. If you're taking 15 shots and you're hitting almost 70%, hell yeah, I'll take that out of my big. Hell yeah,
Too bad my man takes like
with
6
the block
a game.
Yeah, right. But I'm not too worried about
bag.
this team. D'Lo, he showed like people were, I guess, worried about D'Lo because he had not the best year last year.
Yeah, he's been a little up and down
talent,
since Brooklyn.
It showed that, like, all I have to do is play point guard. I'm going to have the ball in my hand. I can get my bucket. I need to set up my teams. Like, D'Lo he's embracing the point guard role, right? He's like, I think 17-9, something like that. He's averaging some solid numbers and shooting well. The comment the Cat about, I think that was like more to the media, like, yo, I just stop. Like, if someone is laughing at what you're doing, you're like, oh, I'm gonna keep doing this because it's funny, right? And Cat's just saying, like, I want him to make sure he's taking care of himself. I want to make sure he's good, and like, we want to do nothing but win here. And what is gonna get us to the win? And then, you throw in like all the healthiness, like, It wasn't too crazy, right? And people always going to try to make something out of nothing.
Of course.
But it was a little weird because, like, just seeing it, I was like, why is this man talking about what he eats? But he does make a good, like, makes sense. If you're playing in the NBA, if you're living, like, don't be eating McDonald's all the time. It's not the best,
Unless your name is Ocho Cinco and it doesn't matter.
Right. But
McDonald's all day.
Timberwolves will be all right. They've had some hiccups, just a little. They'll figure it out. Noel's been balling for him, But
yeah. Moving on, where another team Mamba was, feeling a little excited about. The 0-4 Orlando Magic, the youth on this team, Paulo Banchero leading the way, trying to bring this franchise. They've just been fishing right now for the franchise guy. Have not had one since pretty much Dwight. It's been a long time. It's been a long time in Orlando. Let me not say Dwight. Vucevic got there, and he's a couple All-Stars, led them to a few playoffs, but
quiet down.
Yeah, they haven't.
Dwight got them to a finals, bro.
Their piece. They haven't
Dwight won an
found their
MVP.
piece in quite.
Dwight had Defensive Player of the Year. Dwight should have been on the 75. Dwight Howard will be a Hall of Famer one day. Vooch.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
It might take Vooch a little bit to get into the NBA Hall of Fame, but he might make it into like a basketball.
He was holding it down in Orlando.
No, he definitely was. He was nice, and there's a reason why the Bulls wanted him on the team.
Ooh, Franz Wagner or Paulo Banchero? Who you taking and why?
I'm going Paulo.
Ooh, I'm gonna jump the ship on this one. I'm gonna go Von. I like Wagner. I like Wagner.
There's no
I'm gonna
wrong.
pick him more so for his shooting. More so,
and what's funny about that? He's shooting like 29% from three.
He got a nice little shooting touch. But yeah,
Paolo, first person since LeBron's like a 25, 5-5. So that's always nice to see when the rookie's being compared to a LeBron stats, right? But he's kept it going. He's still averaging 22. I think he has like 7.5, 8.5 boards, like around 4 assists. So he's passing. He's walking up to the 3-point line and pulling it. Green release, right? Man is splashing, and he looks comfortable right now. And Cole Anthony, I remember watching him at North Carolina. I
remember him last season.
Right. Even before when he was
player
drafted.
Of the year.
Yes, like Cole Anthony, I rocked with him since he was in college. The 1 year with North Carolina. 1 year, right? I'm pretty sure it was 1 year.
Yes.
But they have Terrence Ross that can be traded. They're not gonna make the playoffs. Obviously, 0-4. They have pieces that they'll be able to move off of, but there's hope. Paolo looks like hope. Franz looks like hope. Yep. Cole Anthony, hope. Markelle Fultz, Jalen Suggs, they're down with injuries, right? But Jalen Suggs in his first game was like 20 points, efficient. Like
Wendell Carter, man.
Wendell, you got Mo, Bol, bro. This man Bol. I literally watched Bol go from like the left corner to the right wing to block a man before the dude pulled it. I was like, bro.
One.
Yeah, the Magic team, they suck, but they're a fun suck to watch.
So thoughts on this? Where could Bamba go if he is traded?
Who? Portland would be kind of nice. Nurk is solid and still haven't gotten to them, but having like another scorer, made a little rim protection for the backup center can start at times when Nurk is like, I mean, Charlotte could trade for him. They need a big. I don't want to say Indy because it wouldn't really make sense. Like,
right.
There are teams that will want him because he's young. He's a center who shoots a three, plays solid defense. Some team will want him. Maybe Brooklyn, but what is Brooklyn giving up? It's really what are they getting in return, right? And from Portland, you can maybe get a first. You can get. I mean, if they want to give up that an unprotected first, like, do you get Russell back in that trade? Oh my god, no.
I don't know about all that.
I'm sure there's some team that I'm not thinking about that could use this shit. The Clippers, we'll take him.
Clippers, Celtics, we're still trying to figure out our front court minutes.
True. Yeah, y'all. Oh my. That is why y'all lost that Bulls game. Y'all's rebounds. It was like 37-13.
You lost to both Chicago teams on the same night. Disgusting.
Ooh.
We're going to hop on. We're moving back out to the West. We're going to talk about your team. The Los Angeles Clippers are 2-2. Solid right now. Kawhi has played, I believe it's only been 2 games.
Coming off the bench.
Yes, coming off the bench, only 21 minutes, easing his way in. Paul George leading the way, obviously, for this team. But this team is uber deep, though. Norman Powell.
Yes, but no.
Zubac.
That Thunder game, I know it's very early, but I am going to overreact. You had 18 turnovers, bro, to like 5.
Yeah.
Y'all got assed on by Shea, who kind of wish we still had him. Yeah. Trey Mann had like 24, but he took like 24 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, if Kawhi isn't playing, like, it's going to be, if Paul George isn't playing, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. When they're both not playing, buckle up, because, they about to take you on a ride. And Zubac has been solid. He's solid big. It's just.
I bet you the Lakers wish they had him. I bet you they wish they didn't trade fucking Michael Beasley.
What a terrible trade. What a terrible trade for the Lakers.
Horrible trade.
With the starters there, solid. Without the starters there, they got to find an identity. Yeah, they got to find their identity when Paul George and Kawhi are in there.
Yeah,
who is going to be
Reggie Jackson?
Exactly. And you got John Wall off the bench. He's solid. You would hope Norman Powell can continue to score like he would, but I think he had like 5 turnovers in that Thunder game. Nah, I know we picked them for our finals, but my only concern is that the chemistry on the court won't come around because Kawhi isn't playing as much. Not going to be playing back-to-backs. Paul George, he's off and on at times, but if he's on...
You guys are the load management king.
Right, exactly. It's all about who's playing, when playing, how playing, pretty much. Are they playing? Okay, this should be a win. But down the long, playoffs, you need all your players to know how everyone's going to play, because chemistry's a big thing, like in the Lakers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, I hear it. Chemistry is definitely going to be a cause for concern. But again, I feel like you guys are just way too deep. You guys have players literally except for center. Y'all need some center help. But on the wings and stuff, you guys are pretty... From your team out west to my team in the east, the Celtics are 3-1, the reigning Eastern Conference champions. Feels good, looking good. Joe, I always fuck up his last name.
New coach.
Yeah, I always fuck up his name. It's like I know it's Joe at
I ain't even gonna try.
Muzani. I think it's something like that. I know it's Moose something. But he's trying. He got us, he got us going. We obviously lost Ime suspended. We also lost Will Hardy to the Jazz. From their head coach. Did we see Grant Williams murder and assault the ref? Hopefully he's okay. Yeah. We gotta talk about none of that. But yeah, doing all right. So far, so good. Like I previously mentioned, right now our biggest question is front court minutes. Right now, we have Noah Vonleh and Blake Griffin.
Luke Cornett.
Yeah, kind of.
God, doesn't that just sound so exciting as your big man rotation?
It's been like this for years, bro. It was Al Horford and Zeller for a couple of seasons.
Shit, I bet you wish you'd have Zeller right now.
For a while, it was just Perkins, and there was
our Cody. What is he doing, bro?
Is he not in
Portland? I don't think so.
I don't know where he is, but yeah,
I'm pretty sure Portland was his last.
Right now, it's been what's been killing us literally since we lost Kevin Garnett, and it has been our big men. We haven't had very solid big men. Al Horford came in for a couple seasons, slotted in and played some really solid roles for us. Yeah. Now he's, much older now. Can't put in the same work. Him and Grant sort of play the same role at different times, but can complement each other on the court, being able to play inside and outside. We desperately are obviously missing Robert Williams and his rim protection to be able to win games like that fucking Chicago game.
Just his defense in general.
If only we had Olynyk. Yeah, we also had Olynyk. Trust me, I remember some of the fucking years that we had to go through with like no
I
true.
bet you wish you had Olynyk right now, boy.
Yes. I missed Danilo.
Yes.
I'll tell you that much. I missed Danilo, and I didn't even get to see him play. But I would fucking miss Danilo for sure. But yeah, so far we've been playing just fine. Obviously, Jason Tatum, I think, is 32 and a half or 33 a game.
People giving him MVP.
Jaylen Brown's on one. Derek White had a nice breakout game. Brogdon played a really good game against, I believe it was Miami or the 76ers. Can't remember. It was the Sixers. It was the Sixers. It was opening night. Brogdon, obviously, it's going to come down to some of the chemistry. Obviously, we're mixing in some new players. Brogdon, Blake, Noah Vonleh. Like, we're just trying to incorporate some of these new pieces and just figure out what we got. But so far, so good. 3-1. Can't complain too much. Can't panic about the one game we lost, but it's Chicago. They're a pretty good roster themselves.
Vooch has been solid as well.
Yeah, Zach LaVine had just came back from injury that game, so he was kind of rested up and whatnot. DeRozan had a really solid game, so we lost to a good team. And we beat Miami and we beat the 76ers, so I'm not and Orlando. So I'm not, jumping, I'm not too worried about it. Not too worried about it.
Yeah, no, they've been good. They look like the Celtics, just need help at that big man spot.
Yes. Solid start to the season. Anything you want to mention about Boston gang?
Shout out Brogdon.
Brogdon.
He's embraced his role off the bench.
He's always been a role embracer. He was a guard. He was originally a shooting guard.
Yep.
For the Bucks. You know what I mean? Went and got his bag. Went
rookie of the year.
He was rookie of the year. Had a 50, 40, 90. Was pretty solid. Played anywhere they needed him. Played multiple
point guard shooting
roles. You know what I mean? Solid. I think it was like 15, 4 and 4. Just did whatever. Went up to Indianapolis. Was given the point guard duties. Was averaging 7, 8 assists. For a while there. He was playing solid
every season. Every season, that man would start off so hot, and then just an injury would derail him, bro.
And that's why he's on the bench. We don't need him to do all that and carry us like crazy. So,
that's a great piece off the bench, though.
Brogdon doing this thing. Exactly.
Any and every team would love a Brogdon off the bench.
Yes, no, I agree. Hopping back on over to the West Coast. We got the New Orleans Pelicans sitting at 3 and
is that West Coast?
I mean, technically the Western Conference.
I'm messing with you.
We'll just we'll call it that. The Pelicans 3-1. Zion, CJ, Brandon Ingram, Vucevic averaging that double-double that we was talking about ambitioning in the comments section today, talking shit about Valentino.
Yeah, 37 and 15 in a game, bro.
Going crazy. But yeah, Pelicans here. This is a team a lot of people, were circling early on. Like, hey, this is a team to look out for. Made it to the playoffs last season, missing their best player. Another season of build continuity, getting all together. CJ was also a late trade. But getting Zion back, building up this chemistry, they looking not bad.
They have offense, defense.
Nips is flexing his chest. Lori Marketing made Zion his fun, he says. He said, I watched that game. He said, I know what happened.
One of the last plays that I seen between the Pelicans and the Mavs before I switched it to wrestling was Dyson Daniels.
Yep.
Oh, my God. Just locking Luka up, bro. Luka fell on the ground. Dyson just takes the ball from his hand. I was like, I like that. That dude's playing tough. Don't care that it's Luka. Guarding Luka as a rookie, like
they've been on the defensive draft with Herb Jones last season.
Yeah, he's down with an injury, I believe. He has something. Ingram has a concussion, but like this team has depth. They have both offense and defense. Like McCollum is going to be your point guard, and Jose is going to be right there to steal the ball when you least expect it. Yep. Dyson Daniels. I know it was just one play, but it looks like that man about to come in and lock your best player up. Overreaction, guys. Calm down. And then, of course, Zion. He fell on his butt, got hurt. And Jonas is going to be, he is going to be a double-double machine. The team is solid.
Absolutely hooping. They are hooping. We're gonna continue going onwards. Try to wrap things up over here. We got the Brooklyn Nets sitting at 1-2. The main headline story being that Ben Simmons is a fouling
But
machine right now.
man has like 3 more
Fouling
points than fouls,
machine right
bro.
now. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck going on. Um, and I don't know if it's gonna get better. I would like to think
I
that
picked this team
maybe
to go to the finals, bro.
they will, shit will get fixed and they'll get better and Ben Simmons will average fucking damn near 15, 10, and
Yeah,
10. Like
he's averaging, what is it? It's like 5, 6,
5.7.
and 7,
Yeah,
or
literally.
5,
Like
7, and 8. Yeah, it's like 5, 6, 7 is what he's averaging. But he's averaging like
and like
4.5
five
fouls.
foul, yeah, like
Right,
5 fouls
probably
and like
5
four
actually, because he
turnovers.
fouled out 2 of the games. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
3.7 turnovers. I remember seeing that.
So
So,
bad.
dude has more turnovers than he has points
Forgot
almost.
how to play basketball.
You want to talk about some rust? That is ultimate rust. It has to be. I hope, right? But the funniest thing to come out of the Nets isn't even from the Nets. It's John Morant sitting in the press conference after the game, like,
Talking shit.
"Oh yeah, I remember my rookie season. He ripped the ball from me because I looked at my coach one time, so I just like baited this bitch into another foul and got him out of the game." Are you kidding me, bro? That is the best thing ever. And Ben Simmons has been dog shit. Not even dog water. He's been literal dog shit for
Yeah, he
that
needs to
Nets
get it
team.
together. I was on this show defending this man for the last year and a half. You better cut that
Yo.
shit the fuck out.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
man needs to cut this shit the fuck out. I've been up here dying on the sword for this man, and he making me look like shit. But KD and Kyrie are clicking on all cylinders. There was so far, it's early. It's only been 3 games. No questions coming out of those two so far. No questions coming out of those two so far. They've been consistent.
He gets Seth Curry back, help the offense a little bit more.
Yep.
But damn, y'all got to get boards and y'all got to get a little aggressive in the paint, offensively and defensively, if
Ben
you're going to
Simmons
win
can
anything.
unlock this so much potential that.
Yeah, I'm about ready to say that lock has already been unlocked, and there wasn't shit behind that lock, bro.
There
wasn't shit behind the. He let it out, and then he took a year off and lost it all, bro.
That's crazy. That sucks. That honestly sucks.
I hope not, though.
But yeah, we'll see what much more we talk about the Nets. Moving onward, we have the defending champions, the 2-2 Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
Main headlines, obviously, from this season, Dre punching, Jordan Poole. Now we have Clay flashing the 4 fingers at Devin Booker just to get
got ejected.
Yep. Yeah. So, are we panicking about the Warriors right now? Or are we just like, it is?
They lost to the Nuggets and the Phoenix, bro. They lost to the Nuggets and the Suns. It's like this is what they do. I don't think they started the best last year either.
I don't think
maybe they did. I know the Grizzlies started really hot. I don't remember what the Warriors started, but it's the Warriors, bro. They have Steph Curry. Wiggins is averaging like 21 points almost. Draymond, he's gonna be.
Thank you for being here. Have a safe night.
Peace.
We shall see you back here on Wednesday. Don't worry, you're only gonna miss Blazers talk, man.
Right.
Nothing much to worry about there, buddy.
But it's the Warriors, bro. They have the depth. They have the stars. They have the coach. They'll be all right. And Wiseman's look good. Unfortunately, they're going to be in the playoffs if that's what you're worried about. Them being 2-2, no. It's just 2-2. They've lost to 2 solid teams. Granted, one of the teams, they've had some struggles, but they're also trying to figure shit out. And it just happened that one night. They caught him when they were clicking together. Yep. It's just 2-2. Like 30 points from Curry. Like,
I'm not too worried about Golden State. I think they're going to be just fine. Wiseman coming back. Wiggins is currently playing as their second best player.
Yep.
I'm just not overly in love with the Jordan Poole deal. I've made that very well known.
His layups though. That man Jordan Poole knows how to make a nice layup, bro.
he has some, he got the flashiness to his game. He definitely got some flashy to his game. I can't hate that. The layups, some of the shots, really good free throw shooter. got a little JR in him. I can't help but feel like he got a
Yeah,
little JR in him.
I
But
hear it.
to wrap things up, we're going to talk about the one and only undefeated team. Sorry, Bucks, you guys are 2-0. You guys, they're not the only undefeated.
Why have they only played 2 games?
I'm telling you, some games, some teams have played 2, some teams have played 4. But currently,
Yeah,
the
nah.
Blazers are legitimately streaking. The Portland
Yep.
Trailblazers are 4-0, being led by, of course, none other than Dame Dollar, averaging, I think, 33.5 points.
Some people ready to give him MVP too.
Anthony Simons is close to 20. He had a
20.
really,
Yes.
really bad game. 5 turnovers and 5 for 17. I think it was the Lakers game, but they still ended up winning. Um, but Jeremy Grant, Nurkic, Anthony Simons awfully. Shaden Sharp has been playing,
Yep.
scoring some buckets, getting some minutes. Portland 4-0, surprising. They're trying to get back to the promised land. Didn't have Dame basically the entirety of last season.
Right.
Nurkic was down a lot last season. One of Nurkic's main headlines
Which,
is chucking the fans' phone
yeah.
last season.
Right.
So they're looking healthy. They've made some moves. Obviously, bringing Jamie Grant, moving on from CJ, giving Anthony Simons a bigger role. What are we expecting out of Portland? A hot 4-0 start.
I think I had them out and not in my play-in. I was swindled once again by Sacramento. Their chemistry is unbelievable right now, right? Like they trust one another, and that's what you need to win games. And Jeremy Grant, I believe, was saying like he saw Anthony catch a ball and he was about to run over there and help him, but then like he took a step back and was like, no, he's got it. Dame, he was like beating the drum for Shaden Sharp apparently, right? And he'd go to the workouts and he actually wants to help the team improve. And you have Josh Hart averaging 10 rebounds, bro. Fantastic.
He is
Like,
such an underrated rebounder.
um,
He's been doing it since like last season. I swear he averaged like 6 or 7 last season. Like he's
yeah.
been
Oh yeah, no,
grinding.
yes.
Bet the
He's a
Lakers
small
wish they had
forward.
him too.
The Lakers wish they had a bunch of people they got rid of. But no, they all work well. They play defense. Justice Winslow be playing small ball 5 at times when Nurkic is needing to be out because sometimes he just likes to do boneheaded things in the paint, and it's like, bro, don't do that. Just make it. You're right there. Drop it in, bro. They've impressed me. 4-0, did not expect that. And Damian Lillard.
Yep. Dame Dollar, boy.
He deserves maybe a little bit more respect. Just a little bit more. Like he's gonna get his due. He was on the top 75, right?
I think so.
That was one of the controversial people on there. I'm pretty sure.
I think he might have been.
Yeah, and he's showing why he should be on. Want to overreact? Yeah, they probably make it into the playoffs without having
Their
to go
final
through the play.
down.
Yeah, that would be cool because it's like, oh shit, Dame, he's actually like that. But them trading for Mo Bamba, the question earlier, that would just add to their depth and just give them more. And shit, Trailblazers rolling. There are a few teams that have been surprising me, and Trailblazers are definitely at the top of that list.
Yeah, no, I agree. Trailblazers on them, I feel like we have this conversation with Dame at least for the last 5 years now. I feel like we've had this conversation like, when is Dame gonna get his respect? When is Dame gonna get his respect? You know what I mean? Like that seems to keep coming around. We'll see. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think anything's gonna change. I don't think he's gonna get it. Dame's just gonna continue to be a really good player.
Everyone's just gonna be like, when are you gonna ask to leave? Bro?
And when
we're done, yeah.
Basically.
Nah, I want to see something actually come out of this team. This team's been fun. And they probably should have lost, if we being honest. But guess what? They didn't.
They didn't.
Shit happens, bro. You take those wins that are supposed to be losses, and you learn like, okay, we obviously probably shouldn't have won this game.
Yep.
So what can we improve on so we're not in that moment again? So if it's in the playoffs, we know like, oh shit, take a step back. Let's do this. Oh shit, let's let Russell take that shot. But And there's nobody probably going to take that shot ever again. Ever again. Some luck and a lot of skill for this Trailblazers team.
Yeah, probably. The Western Conference is obviously stacked. It's going to come down to, we know it's top heavy, but then the middle, anybody that falls in the middle of the pack, anybody can come out of it.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, with all the sports that be going on right now and like all of the underdog stories and like teams unexpected, you truly do not know what's about to happen in this NBA season. You really don't. Nope. And that, I love it. I love it so much.
That's why we love sports. It's the unexpected randomness of sports that we love so much. But that's going to do it for us on this fine Wednesday. We will be back on Friday to talk some Halloween Havoc recap, see what happens tonight on AEW. Mm-hmm. Got some NXT things happening, some debuts and some teases.
AEW being pushed to the top of Warner Bros. As a sport?
As a sport, bro. Hey. As a sport. We got some interesting shit coming. Be back here next Wednesday also. We'll continue with the RGTP Power Rankings, breaking down football games week-to-week basis. And, of course, NBA season is tipped off. Second week will be concluded. And we'll see what storylines we get for the next 10 teams that we talk about next week. But that's going to do it for us, Mom. But let the folks know what they got to do.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, notice on. Have a great day, morning, evening, wherever you be. And Blizzard's greedy. Blizzard is hella greedy.
Have a good one.